Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. Emirates Airlines successfully taps bond market. World Bank urges Gulf banks to lend more to SMEs. And Mexico's central bank chief promotes his IMF candidacy. Let's look at the stock markets first. The DFM and ADX headed into the weekend in opposite directions. The DFM fell 0.5% to close at 1,566 points. Best performer was insurance house Takaful Emirate, which gained 5.2% today. Tamwheel was up 1.3% and Dubai Islamic Insurance 1.2%. Among the largest losers was Gulf Finance House with a minus of 9.6% and Global Investment House, which lost 7.4%. 148 million shares were traded, valued at 183 million dirhams. However, over in the capital, the ADX gained slightly by 0.3% to close at 2,672 points, with the energy sector rising the most as Taka was up 1.7%. However, Dana Gas was unchanged. Large drops in the real estate sector. Alder Properties fell 3.5%, RAK Properties was down 2.6%, and Surah Real Estate fell 1.5%. Largest gainer was National Bank of Al Quwain with a plus of 7.4%. 86 million shares were traded, valued at 133 million dirhams. And let's now look at the GCC markets, which ended lower today. As of late, US economic data has disappointed the markets. It seems as if the pace of the recovery is slowing down. Yesterday, for instance, we saw the sharpest decline in the ISM manufacturing index in 27 years. And also, there are worrisome signs from the labor market. Job creation in the private sector hit the brakes last month, slowing to its lowest level since September, according to data by payroll company ADP. To talk a bit more about all this, we're now joined by Bruce Powers, Head of Research at Trust Securities. Welcome to the show, Bruce.
Thank you.
Now tell me, do we need to worry? Is the engine of the world's largest economy stuttering?
Well, it seems like we might start to worry. The stock market certainly is acting like it's worried, having dropped over 2% yesterday in all the major indices, and the Dow having its worst one-day drop in almost a year. Asia and Europe, of course, are down today. So it looks like a hope for a recovery are being challenged right now. The U.S. housing market is still a disaster, and without job growth, it's not going to get much better. Earlier in the week, we had a report on housing that showed prices declining in all but one of 20 major U.S. cities. But it's not just the U.S. that's a problem. Optimism about the world economy is also faltering. Yesterday, we had Australia report the worst GDP growth since 2008. And the worst in 20 years, while China reported bad manufacturing data. This all comes as the Federal Reserve is starting to end its QE2 program, which was supposed to turn the economy around. So there's a lot of concern now about what's going to happen as that money is taken out of the system.
Who knows, maybe there will be a Q3 program even.
Well, there's rumors of that.
Well, they say so, yeah. Let's look at the job market a bit closer. What do you expect from the job report that is out on Friday, tomorrow, for the month of May?
Right. Well, tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls reported and the unemployment rate, with the consensus expecting a 0.1% drop in the unemployment rate and a drop of 55,000 in the non-farm payrolls. With these new reports this week, there's now fears that these numbers will also disappoint tomorrow. Goldman Sachs today lowered their expectations by 50,000 for non-farm payrolls, all the way down to 100,000. Today we have initial claims and factory orders coming out, so those numbers will be watched very closely to see if they provide any additional insight into what's happening with the economy.
It stays interesting. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, Bruce. And now to our top stories. Emirates Airline today announced the successful close of a $1 billion bond issue. It will carry an annual coupon of 5.1% with a 5-year maturity and be listed on the London Stock Exchange. The latest bond issue from Emirates has received a strong response from a very wide range of investors, which is indicative of its financial strength, the airline's chairman and CEO, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Zayed Al Maktoum, commented. Meanwhile, because Emirates' bond sale was so well received, Dubai's credit default risk fell to the lowest level since 2009 today. The cost of protecting a Dubai bond against default dropped to 324 basis points. To give you an example, credit default swaps were double as high, reaching 655 points when the financial downturn reached its peak. Banks need to expand lending to small businesses across the Arab world to create jobs, the World Bank says. According to a survey, only 1 in 5 SMEs has a loan or line of credit. A future priority for the region should therefore be to develop more adequate access to finance for SMEs. Farouk Iqbal, the World Bank's director for the MENA region, told a local paper. The region's bank's SME lending ratio was very low by international standard. Also, unemployment could be reduced further by lending more to small companies and startups. And in our fast financial news, Islamic financing is gaining popularity in the Emirate. Islamic certificates of deposit reached 12 billion dirhams in the first quarter, the United Arab Emirates Central Bank Governor Sultan bin Nasser Al Suwaidi said today. The Dubai Department of Economic Development has launched the Dubai Logistics Cluster Platform, a body of experts representing logistics and related sectors to come together, discuss challenges and propose recommendations to strengthen the sector. A model in public-private partnerships, the Dubai Logistics Cluster Platform is the first of its kind initiative in the region. And after the break, we'll run you through what's making the headlines in international business today.